Well, greetings again, everybody. Grace and peace to you from our Lord Jesus Christ. Um, so this week, I thought I would talk about a little problem I ran into last night. By the time you see this, it'll be a couple of days ago. So I have some network vendors that are coming in and they're replacing switches for me. They're doing it after hours and cleaning up the wiring and all the stuff that I was doing, they're now doing for me. And last night I had them replace a switch. And it caused a few headaches this morning. So I'm going to show you what happened. Let me share my screen here. Thing and share. There we go. So here's a little snippet of the network. This is the part they worked on last night. So this one, SW38, switch 38, got replaced last night. Fine. You know, I got a notification that the switch went down, and you know, that was normal to be expected. And I got a notification that it came back up. Okay, great. And there are several notifications that come through in my email letting me know these things. What got lost in those notifications is that these two switches also went down. Well, that's to be expected because, you know, this guy went down. What I didn't notice is that these two switches did not come back up. So I get into work this morning trying to set up for another problem I'm having. And I'm going to be working with another vendor on that. And I had to drop that because one of the help desk guys came up and said, hey, yeah, one of this switch 40 is down, SWG 40 is down. Oh, weird. Okay, well, I'll go check on it. He didn't tell me about this one being down. I switch 124. I found out about that later. So I go to check out switch 40 here. And I get in the room and it's like, well, okay, no wonder it's down. The UPS that it was on, the battery's gone bad and the UPS powered down overnight. So, okay, that explains that. So I bypassed the UPS and just plugged this guy directly into the wall and bam, he came back up. This guy though, I couldn't understand why it was down. So I walked over to the room that this switch is in. And I hope you can see which one I'm referring to. It's switch 124. Switch 124 was down. So I go in there and I look at it and it's up. But the uplink port from it, port 12, the uplink was showing dark. Okay, I bet I know what happened. So these guys replaced this switch. I bet they forgot to plug this one in. So I go in there and I check on the switch and all the patches are there. There's nothing that they missed. What the heck? So I go back to this room that this switch 124 is in, and I follow the uplink cable to the wall jack that it's connected to. And the wall jack is not labeled, of course. So I get my little fox and hound thing. And if you don't know what that is, it's like telephone guys used to call it a fox and hound. You plug a little box into the wall and it generates a tone, and you take a little, it's like an inductive amplifier. I don't have one with me or I would show it to you. Basically, you can touch the wires with this thing and listen for the tone, and you can identify which wire it is. So anyway, I used the fox and hound, and I identified that the cable was in fact plugged into port 3.3 on my switch. So that's chassis 3, port 3. What in the heck? So I look and the port's dark. Well, maybe it's the patch cable's bad. So I replaced the patch cable. Oh, that's fine. So what the heck? So I finally get on the switch and I noticed that the port is disabled. Oh, so why is the port disabled? Well, here's the problem. So what I have the guys do is when they set up these new switches for me, I have them turn all the edge ports, all the non-uplink ports, all the edge ports, I have them set up spanning tree, and I have them set up BPDU protection. So if you see somebody trying to plug a switch in on that port, shut it down. Well, they apparently, the vendors didn't realize that there was a switch plugged into port 33, and they enabled BPDU protection on this port, and it shut it down. So anyway, took the long way to figure that out, but what could I have done? The quickest way really would have been for me to go into this switch 38, and just do show port. And you can see right here that a lot of these ports are showing an E, which means that it's enabled. R means it's ready, means that there's nothing plugged into it. A means it's active. You can see an E and an A there. Active means there's a device plugged into it. I could have gone into this thing and just scrolled through the whole switch looking for ports that were disabled. And I would have come to 33, and once I found it, I marked it. I would have come to 33 and seen that it was, what you would see, and what I did see at the time, was instead of a D, or instead of an E here, I saw a D. And the D, of course, means it's disabled. So that would have clued me in right there. Okay, that port is disabled. Why? Then what I would have done, and what I did earlier, what I would have done at that time is do show config. Actually, no. Yeah, I would show config. And then I would pipe it through and just look for ports. Look for 33. Basically anything that has to do with port 33. Go down here and look at, okay, this nothing here would have affected it, nothing here would have affected it. And then I would have come down to this configure spanning tree. Oh, that's probably what did it. So you can see, actually, I'm looking here and it doesn't look like they enabled spanning tree on any of the other ports, except for a few on port up in the high 30s on device 3. I'm going to have to get these guys to fix that. But what I did see was that 3.3 did have BPDU protection on it, which would be this command right here. So what I did is basically issue the command configure stpd s0, that's the spanning tree domain, on the port BPDU restrict disable, and that's what turned it off. And we also tell spanning tree that all the ports are edge ports except for uplink ports. And the uplink ports, we tell them that it's a point-to-point, or basically it's an uplink port. So roundabout, that's basically what I did to figure out what was wrong, and this is what I could have done to figure out what was wrong. The way I did it involved a lot of walking and moving furniture and making a mess, because the employee had a bunch of stuff precariously balanced everywhere. And so I could get to the network jack and put the Fox and Hound on it. Or I could have just sat at my desk and done this. So there's always more than one way to figure out what's going on, and always try to find the lazy way. A good network admin is a lazy admin. You try to do everything from your desk that you can. So anyway, that was the deal this morning. I hope you found that informative, helpful, or maybe entertaining. That was definitely a real head scratcher. So, but I got my exercise for the morning, and we did get it ironed out. So anyway, thanks everybody for watching, and have a great day. We'll catch you next time. God bless.